So as we all know, it's been an extraordinarily interesting, and I do mean this, interesting first week of the NBA season so far. We've had a gambling scandal, which at some point might actually cause some real issues for Adam Silver. Look, that's a different podcast for a different day. We've also had some of the best basketball performances I've seen in quite some time at the start of a season, from Tyrese Maxey's 43 tonight to the fact that Luka scored over 40 twice before he hurt his finger and allegedly foot, which of course led up to Austin Reeves chipping in just 51 points last night for the Los Angeles Lakers. But I think one of the most impressive things I've seen so far through the start of the NBA season is not one handful, not two handfuls, but three handfuls of outstanding rookie NBA performances. This has to be really one of the best rookie classes I've seen have one of the best first weeks in the NBA in some 15 plus years. We are going to get into who I think is this week's NBA Rookie of the Week. I actually know exactly who it's going to be. And I'm going to give you my top 7 NBA rookies through the first week of this year's NBA season. Look, as always, as you all know, I've got that plus a whole lot more coming up on the NBA Rundown. Hey, 2,500 plus subscribers to the channel so far. We're looking to get near or over 5,000 by the end of the season, so please go ahead and subscribe. And of course, like this video. And do remember, this is totally interactive. I want to hear from you. I want to know what your thoughts and opinions are on the topics that we cover on the NBA Rundown. All right. So we're going to get into the three handfuls. I mean, seriously, like if you're a Golden State Warriors fan, you know who Will Richard is at this point, don't you? And you know that Will Richard has actually made a significant difference for your basketball team at this point. So we're talking NBA rookies on tonight's show. I want to know who your favorite rookie has been, at least through the first week of the season. Now, one of my favorite play-by-play announcers in the NBA happens to be Kate Scott, who is the play-by-play announcer for the Philadelphia 76ers. And I had the opportunity tonight to watch the 76ers play their third game and, of course, listen to Kate Scott call it. And Tyrese Maxey was just absolutely phenomenal down the stretch. And VJ Edgecombe, who ended up pouring in 26 points tonight in the game, had 5 assists in the game, and he had probably the assist of the night that ultimately sealed the deal for the 76ers tonight. It's not always just about the points in these point stats column that makes a difference. Now, of course, VJ did at times tonight actually look like a rookie in the NBA. But if you're still going to score or average, if you will, 25 points through your first 3 games in the NBA, I'm telling you, and actually make one of the critical passes towards the end of the game that basically sealed the deal for the 76ers. Tyrese Maxey drained a 3 as a result of the pass. I have to say, you are the proud winner of this week's NBA Rundown, NBA Rookie of the Week. Absolutely fantastic performance by VJ through his first 3 games. As I mentioned, averaging 25 points a game, 34 in his first game, 15 in his second, and 26 tonight. And it's not just the scoring, but it's a lot of the little things as well. I've watched all 3 of his games, and I have to say, I've been very impressed. Now, of course, we're supposed to be impressed by VJ because he was the 3rd pick in the NBA draft. And when you're a top 3 pick in the NBA draft, you expect those players to actually do well during the rookie season. And it's not always the case. As we know, we can go through the long laundry list of top 10 players who have not succeeded in the NBA. Now, it's safe to say that circumstance certainly play a role in this. And in other words, some players not being available to play, giving time to those specific younger players to actually have the opportunity to actually, if you will, draw a line in the sand and say, this is what I can actually do for your team right now as a rookie. Opportunities matter for rookies in the NBA. Ace Bailey, who I thought was going to have an outstanding first week in the NBA, has had the exact opposite of that, primarily because he hasn't been given the opportunity to actually play. All right, I'm also going to get in tonight. Love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on VJ at this point. Look, he's just got a ton of talent. Love how the kid plays. He's got a long way to go from truly understanding how the NBA game works. So I think, if you want to talk about somebody starting their NBA career off with 3 games, averaging 25 points, I think he's a prime example of somebody that could be, at some point, a great player in the NBA. Now, we all know where Cooper Flagg is in all of this. I actually have Cooper Flagg at this stage of the season after 1 week. He's playing tonight. At halftime, he had just 2 points. Look, it's going to be up and down, especially with the experiment, which is the Dallas Mavericks at this point. I have Cooper entering tonight as the third best or third highest rookie to this point of the season. In at number 2 is somebody I didn't think we'd have in our top 5 or top 7 at all this season, and that's Cedric Cowherd, who is the wingman of the Memphis Grizzlies. Cedric, I've watched his games as well. I think I've seen him miss 3 shots in the games he's played so far. He's been just fantastic. Seems to do the right things at the right times, averaging 19 points a game, nearly 4 assists a game, or nearly 4 rebounds a game, and a couple assists a game. I wouldn't expect huge assists out of him. You'll see more of him, and you're going to hear more about Cedric over the coming weeks, especially if he keeps this up. So it's VJ 1, Cedric 2, Cooper 3, Dylan Harper comes in at number 4, and Dylan Harper has been absolutely spectacular at this point already this particular season. He's currently playing right now. San Antonio is actually taking down the Toronto Raptors at home. Victor is having another Victor-like night, 24 points, 15 rebounds. Stefan Castle's having a really good night. And Dylan Harper is having a good night as well. 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists in the game. Coming into tonight, he was averaging 16 points a game. So there's still some time left in the game. And what we've actually seen out of Dylan Harper to this point is a nice addition to a team that a lot of people didn't think were ready to win now. That doesn't seem to be the case. The San Antonio Spurs look like they're about to go 4-0 on the start of the season. We did a podcast the other day on the alien, one Victor Wembanyama. If you haven't had a chance yet, definitely check it out. It gets into the great detail about why Wemby might actually be ready to actually go to that next level this season. It sort of really talks about the fact that he is already a legitimate MVP candidate, and it's something that I think we'll see him continue to prove throughout the season. He had 1 game with 9 blocks. I mean, seriously. So Dylan Harper is going to benefit from having that on his team. It's a question of minutes, especially when De'Aaron Fox gets back. But for now, it looks like Dylan Harper is set up. Have him at number 4. And at number 5 is Trey Johnson of the Washington Wizards. 17 points a game. Certainly, we all know he's going to have a lot of opportunity to play this year with the Washington Wizards. Jeremiah Fears in at number 6, averaging 15 points a game, just an assist and a half a game. I'd like to see him do a little bit better with that. Certainly, he has a significant amount of upside as a basketball player in the NBA. And I think we would definitely see him continue to grow throughout the season. I know he was playing tonight, and we'll get an update on what went down with the Pels, who ended up losing. Zion was actually out of tonight's game. Fears did not have a big game. He played 27 minutes tonight. And so this is what being a rookie is all about. How you can, in your first 2 games, average 15 points a game. And in game 3, Fears is 2-2-2. That was his stat line from tonight's Boston Celtic first victory of the season over the Pels. And in at number 7 is Colin Kneppel, 15 points through his first couple games, about 5 rebounds and a couple assists per game. Pretty much what you would expect Con to actually deliver. So that's my top 7 rookies in the NBA through the first week of the season. Tell me if I left anybody out, if there's somebody on your team that you think should have made the top 7 this week. I'd love to know who it is. Look, Ace Bailey has been sort of shut out to this point, primarily because he hasn't been actually given the time or the opportunity to actually really play. That is one of the big challenges in the NBA, as we all know, for rookies, just having enough opportunity to actually get out there. And a lot of time that happens during practice. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of Ace Bailey. I'm sure Ace Bailey is going to have some time to play. I would fully anticipate he'll be in the top 7 on a regular basis as the season moves on. Love to know your thoughts and opinions on the rookies so far through the first week of the NBA season. Look, as I mentioned, cleared 2,500 plus subscribers. We're shooting for 5,000 by the end of the season. Love to have you subscribe and, of course, pass this over to your friends as well. As always, drop in your comments. I'm Dave DeBaugh, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day.